Degrassi High. She had a baby when she was real young. Her best friend is a skinny chick. She knows an Asian born in Nick. Caitlin, she is very chic, but I'm still in love with a girl named Spike.
I'm your host, Mike Park, along with my co-host, Hannah Eagle.
Good day, Mike.
And Rick Johnson.
Hello.
And today's special guest is Brendan Kelly, musician,
Hi.
icon, hero. He plays in the band The Lawrence Arm. He's also responsible for the Nihilist Arby's Twitter. He is also an actor, a director, does a blog called Bad Sandwich Chronicles. And a super duper nice guy. Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm great. I mean, after an intro like that, I think even Pol Pot would feel pretty great about.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he probably felt pretty great about a lot of things for a while. That's not really much of a value judgment, is it? But no, I'm happy to be here.
So at this point of your life, what is your affiliation with Degrassi? What do you know about this insane world of Degrassi?
Okay, there's a few things that I knew in advance of this. Well, I guess I should just get this out of the way. The most salient relation to me is when my mom showed me an episode of Degrassi when I was a kid in order to explain to me that my uncle was gay.
Yes!
Whoa! Which,
that's a heavy episode, too.
Yeah, it didn't really take the episode for me to know it was gay. But yeah, so that was my first real indoctrination into it. And then I've known you, Mike, for almost 30 years, and your obsession with Degrassi has always leaked into things that I've seen and done. And that's
leaked into it.
Well, you know what I mean. I suppose that if there was no blind spot there, you know what I mean. You hear about Canadian public television or whatever. It's pretty easy to just never associate the words with an actual thing. But for me, it's every time I heard anything about Degrassi or anything like that, when Drake came out and it was that guy was on Degrassi back in the day, and it's wow. I know exactly what that is. I have a point of reference for that.
Yeah. First your uncle came out, and then Drake came out.
Yeah.
It's a big life.
We are on episode 85, which is the fourth episode of Degrassi: The Next Generation. Eye of the Beholder. Terry is not looking forward to the school dance because she thinks she's fat. Paige is very mean. JT and Toby try to look at porn. Hannah, how does it start, Hannah?
It starts in Terry's house. Her dad's really pumped for her to go to this dance, and she says, "I'm too fat to dance."
Is he drinking Sunny Delight or the Canadian equivalent of?
I think it's just orange juice.
I think it was Sunny D.
Help.
Dude, there's no way it's not Sunny D. This is so this the whole paradigm of this show fits so squarely into that it's Christian programming, but it just never quite gets there to that. And Sunny D was definitely the that of soft drinks,
Oh, yeah.
Hey kids, check out this cool. It's this is just as cool as Mountain Dew,
Oh my gosh. So
I think that's their way of showing okay, Terry's a little poor. She's can't drink real orange juice. She's drinking Sunny D.
Yeah, I feel there's only one room in that apartment too. Everyone's just in.
Yeah.
Her dad seems like a nice guy.
Cool.
Very supportive.
His flannel was awesome.
He kind of looks like the as Sunny Delight is to orange juice, Dad is to Ed Begley Jr.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, he's the Sunny D of dads, for
so
sure.
Theme music kicks, and we're back at Degrassi. Rick, what's happening?
More kids on skateboards and scooters. It's the coolest.
I
roll-
think the scooter kid is that extra from the last episode that I liked. I think.
Okay, sideways red ball cap kid.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, I definitely know that the kid with the skateboard, who will play a very large role in the latter part of this episode. He's carrying the skateboard. There's no like actual skateboarding going on. I definitely made a note of that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like shorthand for like we're not gonna bother. No, we're not gonna get you into skateboarding. I mean, but this kid, he's got a thing.
So Ashley is talking to Terry about the dance, and Terry's saying she's not going to go. And then Paige talks to Spinner and asks him if he's going, and he kind of like shines her off. And at this point, you've seen 3 Degrassi girls, Brendan: Terry, Paige, and Ashley. If you were in junior high, who would you date of those 3?
Well,
Heavy set girl.
Yes, yeah, no, I know who they are.
Don't do her like that.
Okay.
Don't do Terry like
the
that.
description is she keeps saying she's too fat.
I think
And
she
it's like,
seems fun and
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the 3 of them, she's like the other, like the one woman is like if John Kerry was a high school girl or a junior high girl, and then the other one's just like a kind of a conniving maniac. But
no, she came to play.
But she gets, we see later, she likes to party. She's got access to the sherry or whatever. So,
Oh my
you can't
God,
rule her
that's
out.
Sherry.
For a good time. What I thought was interesting in this scene when she meets up with Spinner is he's like, "Sup, bitch." I don't know that word, but I was like, I had to rewind it like 3 times. I'm like, did he just say "What's up, bitch"? Like, there's no way.
Right.
He
There's
seems
no-
like the type of kid that would just say, "What's up, bitch?"
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, you could tell that he is got problems with authority based on his earrings.
Man, those earrings were super uncomfortable. I don't know if anybody was uncomfortable with the amount of earrings and where he got the earrings pierced.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't think I was uncomfortable but I definitely recognize them.
Yeah.
We are now introduced to a new character, Sean, and his brother, who will have a more prominent role in later episodes. So Sean, I think, is the equivalent of the original Degrassi Rick, for sure.
Yeah.
So, how do you know that kid's his brother?
Just from the future episodes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't.
Because
it could,
you don't.
could be his
I just thought
boyfriend.
he was just rolling up with some rando on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
guess
is
I
my
should've-
sugar daddy.
I shouldn't be
definitely
giving away
thought it
too
was his
much.
dad.
Oh.
I definitely was like, this is this kid's dad. He's got a young, cool dad, a motorcycle, and it's like the Dylan McKay of fucking Degrassi Junior High here.
So now we are about 4 minutes into this episode. Brendan, do you have any feeling now of oh, this show's pretty good, or what are you thinking at this point?
Okay, well, it should be mentioned overtly that Rick had me watch the wrong episode before this one, and so I'm coming into this already having watched episode 3, which I don't know if you guys have talked about.
Oh yeah.
But man, does it suck bad. So I'm coming from a place of
But that's almost better, don't you think?
Yeah, you feel like this is better.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah.
this is not as bad as that last episode.
Absolutely, I was thinking this is not as bad. I was already kind of prepped for it being sort of not as bad. I mean, I could talk to you guys about that episode 3 too. The whole thing where she's got a bra, and then it's and then in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, now I'm completely staring at this girl's boobs this entire time because they've made it.
Oh my God.
They made it so weird. Why did they do that to me? I hate that episode. But yeah, so at this point, I'm still a little bit disdainful of the universe that I've been plunged into, but I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to be a little bit better than the last one because it already is way better. I mean, as soon as she's like, "Dad, I'm fat."
Oh my gosh.
When I
I know,
pulled it up to watch it last night, I had that feeling in my body where I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna vomit because I just made somebody watch legitimately the worst episode and ruin their life.
I love that. I
It
love
was
that.
just like my girlfriend would sit next to me. I was like, no, and then I was just typing I fucked up. I made you watch the wrong episode. I feel so bad. Which probably came over completely well via text.
I'm going to add that Brendan also texted me a couple days ago saying, this is the worst show I've ever watched. But I didn't know he was watching episode 3. I was like, "Aw." I was very sad.
Yeah. Episode 4 is good.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it goes places, man. It's like they pack a lot of living into this little period of time here.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. I also love that when Terry's with her dad, she's like, "Dad, I'm fat." And he's like, "What? Really? Are you sure?"
Is she really considered fat, or would you just say a little bit chubby?
No. Oh my God, no. She's like middle school, like baby fat. Anyway, but this girl also, well, I don't know if I should say that yet, but this girl, the actress, is like a plus size model. So
Yeah,
she
in
knows.
real life.
She knows she's good looking good.
Yeah. Okay, so Sean is in Mr. Simpson, aka Snake's class, and he says to the class, "We have a new student. Would you like to say something?" And what does he say, Hannah?
Says, "Nope."
It's the line of the episode right there.
A lot of respect for that.
I mean, you gotta, you come back later once you find out a little bit of what's going on, and you're like, now I understand what's up there. But at the time, I was like, what the fuck? No. I was like, that is the weirdest fucking answer.
You get back up there and do some icebreakers.
Yeah,
it was so good.
But it's like you realize, I don't know. I don't want to give anything away for those of you like slowly pausing the episode as we talk about this.
So I want to note that the actor that plays Sean recently has been interviewed, saying he was disappointed he was not invited to be on the set of the Drake video where the entire cast or most of the cast was present.
Yeah, which seems weird to me.
Well, maybe he was a real life dick.
I was gonna say that is like the hallmark of a total pud, like he just to even just like bring that up. It's like, fuck you, get out. Oh, it was really sad to me when Drake didn't invite me to be on the video. It's like, I don't think anybody cares about that. And then the fact that Drake didn't invite him on, like, leads me to believe, like, oh, this guy that's acting like kind of a dick, Drake doesn't like him also?
Yeah. Terry made it on.
So the other character, JT, he was invited, but he thought it was a prank, so he didn't show up. He's like, who is this pranking me?
Wait, was that which JT is like the
nerdy
skateboard
kid. Yeah, he does. He has a razor, I believe.
Yeah. He's one of 2 of the horny surfers.
Yeah.
Surfers. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the one carrying the skateboard in the beginning.
Yeah, that's good knowledge. Good knowledge. Now we are in, I guess, Mrs. Kwan's class, and Paige Michael Chuck is noticing Spinner giving the eye to Terry, and she is jealous.
Yeah, she's hatching a plan.
Yeah.
I just want to know how Spinner became the hunkiest catch in Degrassi.
I really wrote down, I was like, why does Paige like Spinner, and why doesn't he like her back? What does he have that makes him have such discerning taste? I don't know. I don't get it.
Because he's a dum-dum?
It's really got like because Canada is nice. It's really got like all the makings of like, holy shit, the one black guy and the one black girl are gonna fall in love in this episode because they're both like just like bigger and taller, you know. Like that's like as much as far as they could go with that in Canada. It's just like, okay, we're not gonna make it a racially weird thing, but let's you know.
Let's get the two chubby kids together.
The two chubby kids, they can like roll around together somewhere, you know.
And I'll be honest, I love it. As someone who was chubby in middle school, I'm like, at least they found each other, you know? That would not happen.
No.
True that.
They'd both be calling each other fat, so they're friends.
Yeah.
Is what would in middle school.
Yeah.
In the year 2001, how old were you, Brendan?
I was 25.
So at the age 25, were you still, I remember you used to wear giant pants. Did you wear giant pants at age 25?
Probably. I don't really remember my pants situation that well, but I would say, yeah, it's there's a very good chance I was wearing big pants.
Yeah, I remember being on the train with you in Chicago, and I was just like looking at your pants, thinking to myself, man, those are some big ass pants.
Were they like Jinkos? Was that the brand you were rocking? Jinkos?
No, man. You know, I never really fucked with Jinkos, but the idea is the same for sure. Like,
so
were
they just big pants like you got from like a thrift store, or did you go to a store looking for pipe size?
Okay, so there was like some big, like on purpose big pants made to be big.
On purpose big pants.
Yeah, but like they were not. I think there was a more like, you know, Chicago companies that I would get them from. Like they were like called like Untitled and Fucked and stuff like that.
I know, yeah.
You probably know those. I mean, I don't think Jinkos were never like in the stores I was going to. I always thought of those as more like kind of hip hop pants and also more like brightly colored than I really wanted my pants to be. I love that I have like a cutoff of dignity when it comes to wearing gigantic pants like that. I'm like, oh God, good. They're bright green. You know, that would be stupid.
Yeah. It's got to be just the right pair of enormous pants.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, in Grand Rapids, there was like all the kids were like would have pant competitions of like how big the pants could be.
Oh.
And so like people were like jealous of other people's pant size. It was pretty amazing.
I hate that. That makes me disgusted. Moving back to Degrassi, we are in the school gym, and Terry is telling Ashley she's not going, and Ashley is talking her into going. And she says she'll do a makeover, and then Paige gets involved and says, well, I got to be involved because she is scheming.
She is scheming.
Can we discuss something about the dance?
Please.
Sure.
So this is the first quotation marks night dance they're having.
Yeah.
So does that mean that they've only had daytime dances prior?
As far as I could tell.
Yeah.
Is that insane?
It's insane.
So, like, if Ned Flanders was the principal, it's crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like the one girl is like, well, if the dance was during school hours, it's like, where the fuck has a dance ever been during school hours?
That's what I'm saying. What class are you gonna miss to go to this dance?
So, okay, Brendan.
Yes.
Prior to Next Generation, nothing good has ever happened at a Degrassi dance. And the principal that is currently in charge of the school also was the vice principal and a teacher at one point prior to this. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if he enacted a rule that there will be no nighttime dances.
Yeah. He was like, Degrassi kids can't handle nighttime dances.
Yeah, like one time the school legitimately burnt to the ground at a dance.
Good. I love it.
Okay, so looking back to your junior high, Brendan, and did you go to any of the dances?
In junior high, Well, you know what? So I went to a school that was like pretty predominantly Jewish.
Mhm.
So I went to a lot of like bar and bat mitzvahs during those years, and that, those are kind of like dances, I don't recall any actual like school sanctioned dances that I went to in junior high, but I definitely went to bar and bat mitzvahs. And I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, disco ball, weird punch, awkward boners, that kind of thing, like just,
Did you at any of the bar bat mitzvahs, how was it? Did you just go up to the girl that you liked and said, would you like to dance?
Gosh, I don't really totally recall. I think that there was just so many that we kind of all in like the grade I was in understood that like, hey, we're gonna all be like once the ice was broken at the beginning of the bat mitzvah season, I think people could just like ask each other to dance like fairly freely. I remember it being less pressurized than it seems like it is in this. Like I didn't have to drink a few glasses of sherry to go up to Brittany Wislow and ask her if she wanted to dance. For sure.
Do you remember the first girl you kissed?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Was it grade school or was it junior high?
It was 7th grade, I believe.
7th grade. Yeah. Where is she now?
Junior high. I don't know where she is now. I could probably look her up, but.
Rick, first girl you kissed, junior high?
Yeah.
Hannah, first girl you kissed, adulthood?
College.
College.
But oh, how sweet it was.
Did you kiss a boy in junior high?
No, I don't even think I kissed anybody in high school.
All right, then. Moving along.
I'm kind of a loser.
We played spin. I remember going to a party in 8th grade and we played spin the bottle. And I think that was my first kiss. It was not voluntary on the girl's part, but that was my first kiss. But I also remember the first slow dance. I remember asking a girl to dance. Her name was Carrie Pate, and like I could feel her boobs against me, and it felt really weird. I was like, "Oh no!
Oh no!
What's going on? I'm scared."
Well, that was the thing with all these dances, is like you all of a sudden are dancing with someone, and like boob brushes against you, and all of a sudden you've got like the rock hard boner of an 8th grade boy, and you're like, I can't do anything about this, like there's no way to control it, and it's shameful. It's just, I get the feeling that like the girls like in the dances that I went to were kind of getting a kick out of just like embarrassing the shit out of us by just like coming up asking us to dance, harvesting like a hash mark page of boners
amazing
initiated and then walking off to laugh.
That's also crazy to me because I feel like at our dances in middle school, people were definitely like grinding on each other and like play after parties, which I was like, this seems way advanced.
It does seem way advanced.
I was like, I don't, and somebody would be like, you're not dancing. And I was like, I know how to dance, I think. But I don't think that I'm seeing dancing. Yeah, they were just full on. Like
nice.
Play. Yeah. Well,
nice.
It's nice for them.
Yeah. Back to Degrassi. Rick, go ahead. Sorry.
Has anyone seen that movie Good Boys yet?
I have not.
Oh my God, I started it. I had to turn it off. It's
so good. Keep it up. Everybody watch it.
Is it an over the hump thing? Once I get a certain distance, it's going to be fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do that.
Jimmy comes up to Sean and says, it's cool. What does he say, Hannah, exactly?
He says, hey, man, party, grade 8s. It's mostly supposed to be grade 8s, but we'll make an exception for you, even though you're grade 7, which is just a super rude thing to say to somebody who got held back. And then Sean is going to kick his ass.
Well, Sean goes to another bench and then you see that's when you could tell Emma likes him.
With
Yeah,
Jimmy,
she likes.
when Jimmy
she
walks
has
up,
bad decision making.
Are you going to talk about the basketball?
yeah, that whole scene prior to that where Jimmy walks up, he's dribbling the basketball. Some kid steals the basketball, and then Jimmy's recoup is to shoot something invisible into a trash can.
He's like, well, hoop-a-doop.
And then essentially bully Sean is super weird.
Yeah. Crazy maneuver. Also, like, this is when you find out that homeboys held back, which then you go back in your brain to that teacher being like, here's a new student, like to tell anyone anything? And it's like, you dick.
Yeah.
Was it? That means that you were his teacher last year and you're like putting him through this?
Yeah.
That sucks so bad.
Be like, no, I think everybody remembers me from last year.
I love it. Hey, why can't Manny go to the dance, Hannah? I don't remember.
Manny's parents are very strict. So
Okay.
they said if it was a daytime dance, which, like, does that exist? No. But she can't go to nighttime dances.
And are JT and Toby discussing going to Toby's house to watch, to view porn on the internet in Miss Kwan's class?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Not Miss Kwan's, I think.
No, it's Miss Kwan's class. There's only 2 teachers in Degrassi currently.
JT, I don't think they're in Miss Kwan's class.
They are absolutely in Miss Kwan's class.
They're definitely doing it in Miss Kwan's class because she's like, gentlemen, read your books. And it's like, okay, you guys are just reading chapter 4 silently to yourselves in class. That's how the class is going? It seems like a homework assignment to me. I'm no fucking city education major, but it seems like in class, it's time to like do something that you couldn't do just, you know, in a box by yourself.
Okay. Moving along, we are now introduced to, well, not introduced. We have Ashley's parents departing. Where are they going, Anna? Ashley and Toby's mom and dad.
Toby's mom and dad, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where they were going, but it's funny you mentioned that because when I was watching it, I was looking at the outfits they both had on, and I was like, where could they possibly be going in those type of clothes? not dinner. They're not going out to dinner together. I was like, maybe they're going to see a movie.
What about like Olive Garden? That seems like an Olive Garden outfit.
I guess, but like,
I mean, they were back super quick.
True. It could have been a movie.
I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at porn on the internet, but the time goes by pretty fast. There's no guarantee that they weren't gone long. It's just I think those guys were like kind of got lost in the moment a little bit.
I don't know, that sheet of hot URLs wasn't that long though.
It could have
hot URLs.
So gross and
could have been clicking links though. They could have been links on those sites to go to other sites. You never know.
You have to assume that Degrassi is in real time though. So like the dance is ongoing and they're just looking at hot URLs.
Oh God. I mean, I don't know what is the thing, but okay, first of all, a page of like printed out porn website names is pretty gross.
That he got from his cousin or whatever.
I don't like it. I'm not even trying to go into like, oh, it must be, you know, covered in jizz or something like that. That's not even why I think it's gross. It just seems just generally gross to me.
Yeah.
And
I think also it's the thing of like, okay, your cousin is 12 and you print out a sheet full of URLs to porn websites and you're like, I have to give this to him.
Yeah.
I know who has to have this. It's JT. He's 12.
Do you remember the first time you saw porn on the internet, Brendan?
Nah, man. I sure don't, to be honest. I remember like the first like porn I ever like found, which was like it was like half of a back page, you know, full of ads from some like old porn magazine, and it just like and I just like kept it like in a little box under my bed. It was like I found
Full garbage.
yeah, full on garbage. No two ways about it. Totally garbage, but it was the most precious. I mean, it was like my fucking One Ring to rule them all. Like I kept it under the bed or whatever, hidden. And then at a certain point, the guilt got too overwhelming, and I had to just throw it away.
Yeah.
Because apparently I also went to Degrassi Junior High.
Yes.
With that story.
I remember a roommate. I had a roommate, and I asked if I could borrow his computer, and I was typing in the URL, and whatever it was, maybe like the first letter was A, and it just suddenly just shot up asses or something like that. I'm like, what? And then I remember like, okay, I went to my URL and then like had to check something else and like started with a P, and it's like pussies or us or something. I was like, what the heck? I just started experimenting every letter of the alphabet. Like B was like butts and more butts. C, cocks. I was like, what the heck is this guy looking at?
You know he's
Anywho,
looking at.
That's my story.
I used to just make my Sims have sex with each other
What?
when I would watch.
Oh my God. I didn't know they could do that. That's great.
You didn't know Sims could have sex? That's huge. That's a huge
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
It seems pretty crucial. But
It seems like a weird thing to market to children now that I'm thinking about it in that way. But
Can your Sims get pregnant?
yeah.
Well,
Is it like Degrassi, where if you're like really shitty to a girl, she'll want to have sex with you more?
Isn't that just life?
What do you think of Terry's makeover, Hannah?
She looks great. I think she looks fine. She definitely looks like she's going to a middle school dance, which I love. She's got on like clogs and a mermaid skirt and a tank top, and everyone's like, "You look amazing."
I love the jealousy in Paige's eyes. He's like, she's thinking, wow.
what house? Whose house are they at?
There's
gotta be-
Paige's house.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it was Paige's.
Yeah. It might be.
She-
I
I mean-
actually don't think it's Paige's, is it?
Oh, you might be.
Either Paige or Ashley.
Yeah, but Ashley lives
is
with.
the key.
I thought it was Terry's house so they could use Terry's clothes, and it was like one room. So I was like, they might be at Terry's house.
Oh, that could be
It
right.
can't be though, because those other guys are jacking off in Terry's house.
No, they're
No,
not.
they're not.
They're at Ashley's.
Ashley's house.
Oh.
The thing I love also about Paige is that, like, during this scene, you see Paige looking at the sherry, so she fully knows that she's gonna get Terry blasted drunk.
It's a
She's evil.
real premeditated situation.
Yeah, it's like a psychopath kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like that's a worse crime, for sure.
Mhm, mhm.
You know?
So Brendan,
Yes.
there's a short cameo of the character Spike. Do you recall when that is?
No.
Well, you can't
Nah.
see her. That car is so dark.
She is the mother of Emma, who goes to the dance solo.
Oh. Okay.
That is our dearest Amanda Steptoe, and that's her only role of this episode. Probably took a good 20 minutes.
I don't know. She was probably on the set all day.
You think so?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
She's an adult star. She rolled up in her car. That's her real life car, and she did the scene and she departed. No?
No.
No, I bet they were probably like, we'll get to that scene after another scene, and then she had to wait to see when that ended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it probably took a little bit longer than that, but that being said, I don't think anything on this show takes particularly long. It seems like it's got like a real run and gun quality to it that I appreciate as a person that just wants art out there and just to kind of, be like, okay, good enough. Let's go next thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's discuss the sherry.
I have a question about sherry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do people actually drink sherry?
Isn't it like it's a post-dinner drink? It's
I
like
thought it was just for cooking.
Well, you cook with sherry. Sherry Sherry's like a kind of like a sweeter wine, I think.
It's like a dessert wine, right? It's like port.
Yeah. And like brandy, port, and sherry are all in the same sort of like family of like I guess you'd call them like fortified wines or something like that. But they're not fortified wines like the way like Thunderbird is a fortified wine or like Mad Dogs, you know. I don't know too much about sherry. I agree that cooking is the main thing I would think of doing with sherry, but I also feel like it's the kind of thing that like your aunt that never got married has like a thing of sherry in her house, you know, that she just sips from every now and then. And, you know, she makes comments like, gotta have my sherry.
Yeah, she's like, 1 cup for the chicken, 1 cup for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Brendan, have you ever drank Thunderbird?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When was the
for
last
sure.
time you had Thunderbird?
Oh, it's been a long, long time. I mean, those like fortified wines and stuff are so gnarly. They get you just like real loopy drunk real fast. You know, like I don't know. I know you're not a huge drinker, Mike, but you how it like you could like drink a lot of beer. You could even drink like whiskey or vodka or something. But if you drink like white wine, you have like a glass and a half. All of a sudden, you're like, ooh, I'm dizzy. I don't know like what the thing is about wine. It's like it's got just like a different like
No,
method of
that's
attack.
huge true. That's huge true. That's big.
And so it's like, you know, it's like I used to be like a big like whiskey drinker. That was like my main thing. And then eventually my wife is like, you're gonna die. You know, like the poison. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll just like kick it back to like just like drink a beer and wine, whatever. And you know, for the most part, I just drink beer and wine at this point. But like when I first like started drinking wine, I'm like, okay, so I can have like 5 glasses of whiskey or 1.5 glasses of white wine, and like that's like, and all of a sudden I'm off balance. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
What
So
yeah, you're right.
well,
Hannah,
so-
Hannah, have you ever had Thunderbird?
I've never had Thunderbird, but
What about malt liquor?
no.
Ooh.
Maybe I think once
like
or twice.
Colt 45 and shit.
Yeah, King Cobra.
No way,
Oh,
you've
yes,
never had like a
yes.
Colt 45. You
Oh,
got
no.
to.
40s used to be my jam. That's a
Oh.
40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
have? Would you have Colt 45, King Cobra, Old English?
I
Big
think
Bear.
no, I don't think any of those. I think when I was drinking 40s, it was like the High Life 40s or whatever.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
not
that's
malt,
just
not
regular-
malt
That's
liquor.
just regular beer.
Yeah.
But
That's a
yeah.
That's a good 40 though. A good.
Mhm.
The High Life 40 is a good 40. Oh man, the days of 40s was awesome.
If you're broke, like I always was in college, you buy a 40, you're done. You have your drink for the night, and it's warm by 5 minutes later.
Totally.
I
The
drank.
funniest thing was,
Oh, go ahead,
sorry,
Brendan.
go ahead,
Go
Mike.
ahead, Brendan.
Oh.
Brendan.
well, I just remember that one time I was like coming home when I was in high school, and my mom's like, I think I'm gonna have a little beer, and she went to the fridge. I got out a fucking 40, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she just like poured herself a little glass of it, and then just sat down to have a little glass of beer with dinner. But like, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's been fucking over 20 years, and that's still like burned into my brain. Where I'm like, wait, you got a 40? Like, what the? Like, very odd.
I
Was this
think
in- was this in
she's kind of a
Texas?
genius.
Yeah,
Was
I
it-
mean, I think that's the way it's intended. You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
When
2
people talk about like microdosing on mushrooms or ecstasy or something in order to treat PTSD or something like that, and like I was always like, I don't know, man. You know, I used to take a quarter of mushrooms at a time, and I'd lose my fucking mind. And then you take like just like one little thing of like a mushroom capsule, and you're like, oh no, I'm just calm. I'm not worried about everything all the time. Oh, because it's like that's not how you're supposed to do it. Like the same reason that you're not supposed to drink like 3 bottles of Thunderbird when you're in 8th grade. Like you're supposed to pour the 40 into a small glass and have 1 glass with dinner, and then it's enjoyable.
How do you think Terry's acting is as a young junior high girl getting drunk? Do you think she did a good job, Rick?
I think that whoever the director was like, you need to act more with your finger. And she's just like, Paige, you're right.
And you think, and your verdict is yes, good job.
I mean, she seems like she's play drunk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But do
she's doing. I think she's doing a great job.
you think in Canada you could just walk around in public with a bottle of sherry
I love that she brought that bottle.
at age 13?
There was like, no, Paige did not give two fucks about anybody getting in trouble about the sherry being missing in the future.
No, if anything, she made Terry bring the bottle, and then not only did she make Terry bring the bottle, I feel like she made her break it outside and then rushed her inside.
Yeah, and sold her the fuck out as soon as they got inside. She's like, I tried to tell her not to drink. I mean, it's one of the most ice cold and just like not even like just like if that's you, if you're what's her name, Terry,
Yeah.
Sherry, I don't know, Terry, and the Sherry. But if you're her and you hear her go like, I tried to tell her not to drink, I tried to stop her. You just have to be like, oh damn. Okay, so
Also,
I got nothing to say.
if I'm as drunk as shit as Terry, I'm gonna be like, no. She made me drink everything. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
she drank that whole bottle herself, obviously.
Yeah.
Because wow.
I
She
feel
left
like it was
some
like
on the pavement, but
a 3/4 of the bottle there. Like there's like a quarter out of it somehow.
and
Yeah,
she's handling it pretty well.
I actually think she does do a good job as an actress conveying being drunk. Because it's like she's a little sloppy. She's not too sloppy. She doesn't get into like, you know, like that kind of shit, which is like so. Like that to me is like when people start overacting drunkenness. I feel like acting drunk is kind of like just act the exact same way as you are, but like maybe you've got like a booger or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like you just like obviously don't quite have it together.
Yeah.
But the one thing is like the fall is very bad.
The fall's terrible.
The fall was like preposterously. It was like, okay. I mean, you could almost see, and I know, okay, I don't think she's a fat girl in real life. You know, like I think she seems like a very perfectly lovely looking young lady. But you can kind of almost see like people like lowering her down with ropes, like when she's like falling. It's like...
Oh my god. Oh, back to the school dance.
Well, can we zip back to Toby and JT talking about porn?
Yes.
JT says the grossest thing in the episode, which is boobage. Here we come.
Boobage.
Yeah, the whole thing of them and their like little like fledgling sexualities is gross to me.
I also don't know how Toby was able to unblock the computer. Like they're doing it. Those parents are terrible at passwords.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that seems right.
Yeah,
JT,
that's also
JT
true.
was also pissed when that child protection thing came up. He was gonna go in a rage.
Yeah, he seems very
Yeah.
horny.
It seems like hanging out at Toby's house isn't something you do unless there's gonna be porn. You know what I mean?
That kid sucks so much ass. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Like, of all
JT's
the-
like, I got a ride over here and your child locks are on?
Yeah. Amazing.
How about the one with 3 X's?
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's
not- it's- Man, that's not a duo activity.
It's not. It's really not. Also, at this point, like in my mind, between JT and Toby, I feel like Toby. Also, I've seen this series a billion times, but I feel like Toby's given many friendship tests and this is the first one he fails. And I feel like JT was like, if we watch porn, we're friends still.
Wow.
Nice.
Desperate. Just desperate.
I know, yeah.
At the dance, Emma walks by, and now we are with drunk Terry and
Love drunk Terry.
Spinner approaching to dance. Can
Mhm.
you describe the dance, Hannah?
First of all, I think her drunk hugging and dancing, spot on. She's doing a lot of draping and a lot of improvised sort of just gyrating.
Napoleonic gesturing, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit, like.
And just the confidence of someone who's had 8 glasses of sherry.
Yeah.
But
was
she seemed
anybody
kind of
uncomfortable? Yeah. Was anybody uncomfortable with the strap of that tank top being off her shoulder for so long?
I know. Another
Yeah.
crime that Paige committed against her.
I was pretty uncomfortable pretty much this entire episode. I definitely think the part where it's like the two 12-year-olds kind of jacking off under the desk. If I don't believe that we just talked about that scene, and then you're like, how about that strap being down on her arm to make anyone uncomfortable? It's like actually my comfort level shot way up from the scene before where they were.
I know. Little
jerking
did those
off in tandem.
Little did those kids know if they had gone to the dance, they could have just jerked off to Terry's bra strap in the corner.
I find myself attracted to Ashley at this point.
Oh my God! What?
Series. She is I think the most attractive of the young junior high girls thus far.
She's so blind.
She's the grade 7.
I think
She's grade 8, I believe. She's Toby's stepsister.
Yeah, she's the class president.
Oh, right. Oh, gross.
Oh dear. Okay. We see a disappointed Paige. We see Mr. Raditch walking about the dance, and drunk Terry, and now Drake. God, why I gotta stop calling him Drake. Jimmy comes up to Sean again, and what happens, Hannah?
Well, this is actually the scene I thought we were describing before. So, yeah, I don't know what he said to him outside of the fucking school, but he says this party's like, we're having a grade 8 party, but even though you're grade 7 because you got held back, you're allowed to come.
And as soon as Raditch is right behind Emma, and before he can see the skirmish, she asks him to dance. And that takes a lot of guts, because she went to the dance solo. Who would go to their junior high dance solo? That takes so much courage. Good for her.
She's brave.
She went to the dance solo, went up to a guy that's a year older than her, who rides a motorcycle and is in the middle of a physical altercation.
Who was held back for a reason she doesn't know.
Yeah. Like the amount of bravery that's going into this wanna dance is insane. It's through the roof. She should be a fucking Navy SEAL after this.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's
already,
also like, is it bravery?
Yeah.
Is it bravery, or is she like one of those girls who loves trouble? That's what I think.
Oh, she clearly is one of those girls that loves trouble.
I also think she has no fear anymore. 2 episodes prior to the episode I made you watch an accident, Brendan, she almost got sexually assaulted in a hotel room in like an internet scheme with an older man.
God, she's very young for that to be like a
Yeah.
Jordan.
So, yeah.
His name was
So now
Jordan.
she's like, no more internet. I'm making my terrible judgment calls in person only.
Yeah.
She has no fear. You can never be as bad as that.
Yeah. She's like, at least I know he's 13.
Back to Degrassi. Toby, JT on the computer, and the parents come home.
Ugh.
Your thoughts, Rick.
Is it Toby or JT that says she will be my online officer anytime?
That sounds like JT.
Yeah. Again, super gross. And then, like,
yeah, I don't know.
they're so focused on those URLs that they didn't hear the door open and shut. Because, like, those parents were legitimately 2 steps behind them when they called them out on their porn watching.
Could the volume have been up high?
I don't think
there was no volume.
Yeah, this is 2001. There's no video. This is dial-up.
Oh, so they're just looking at photos.
Just looking at photos, which are also probably taking forever to download.
It's like slowly loading.
Yeah, it's like the screen is cascading down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Every time I've ever jerked off, it's like my first thought is, God, I've got to make sure nobody catches me doing this, And the second thought is, I'm jerking off, right? Like it's, that's a way secondary thought to, like, is the door locked? Oh my God, I just heard like the dog. Was that the dog stepping on something? Or like, like it's like the real jerking off is an act of doing 2 completely opposite things at once.
Listening for the door and jerking off as hard and as fast as you can.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I think that does take you out of reality a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think they both had boners?
Oh, for sure. There's no way they did it. And I also, it's even creepier because JT is not sitting down the whole time. He's just like looming over Toby's shoulder the whole time.
His dick pressed into his back.
Yeah, like just like super weird. I also legitimately laughed out loud when the parents said, I would say they're silicone. And then there was a record scratch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great. And then they fucking, talk about like thematic continuity. The next shot after that is back at the dance where they're putting the needle back on the record.
So good.
Oh, you're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's a lot of...
I didn't even think about that.
What do you think of Terry's drunk dancing? I think he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a crowd is starting to notice her belligerence as she's dancing.
Also, side opinion. I think if Terry was drunk, and like up until she falls down, pretty fun. Let's be honest. She's silly. She's fun. I love it. So like, and she, first of all, she's dancing with him and she's like, you're really cute, which is something when someone's drunk, you're like, they mean it.
Yeah.
So that's like a compliment.
Also, Spinner's never seen anybody drunk before, so he's just like, I got this made.
Yeah, but also like as a kid like Spinner, I would think if he saw a girl who was willing to get shit-faced for a grade 8 dance, I think he would think it was cool. That's the only thing that seems weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. It's like he seems like he does think it's cool. I mean, he was like, "Thanks," like.
Well,
Thank you.
I think he's completely oblivious that she's drunk though.
She knows. He knows.
If you drink no, she smells like.
Yeah, she smells
like
very
a fat pig covered in sherry.
Yeah, she smells like a maraschino cherry someone picked out of the toilet right now.
All right.
Okay, so she ends up falling, and then that joyful dance of belligerence turns into a quick run to the ladies' room or girls' room, and Ashley chases her.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's when Paige just jumps in and says, "How about that dance?" And
yeah, she's a player. She came to play.
Yeah, she's in. And then I think we jump into the next day of Manny, Emma talking to JT. What are they talking about, Hannah? JT and Toby.
Manny says, you went up to someone to dance? And she was like, yeah, it wasn't a big deal, which is why I'm like, she might be a sociopath, because it is. Yeah, I didn't feel anything while it happened either. And then JT and Toby, they run into them and find out the weirdest thing, which is that Toby's parents took it upon themselves to make JT watch gay porn with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the old like pack of cigarettes thing, where you gotta smoke the whole carton or whatever.
Yeah.
Afterwards. But
which I
instead,
love, but it's other people's kids.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up. I mean, like, if my kids came home and were like, Jeff's parents made us watch gay porn with him all night, I'd be like, that's odd. That's like, I mean, not really because it's like gay porn. That doesn't bother me at all. But like,
yeah.
I'd probably have some questions.
Yeah, you just call Jeff's parents and you're like, I'm not against it. I just need to know exactly why.
Yeah. What exactly the fuck is going on over there that you're watching a bunch of gay porn with my kids?
I also want to know in what universe Toby and JT are telling people at the school that was their punishment for the spicy URLs. Like, there's no way that would be like, we're never talking about this.
Yeah,
ever.
that goes to the grave with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Next day, Degrassi. Ashley is walking with Terry as kids from the school are kind of like eyeing her, going, "That's her. That's the drunk girl." Spinner gives back the homework or the notes that he borrowed, and suddenly he seems to have lost interest in Terry, and seems like he and Paige are now a couple. Would this be correct, Hannah?
Yeah, for sure. It's the way it's meant to be.
That's what happens when you give it up after the first nighttime dance. Like,
yeah.
I love that how Terry found out was that Paige said that Spinner's going to be using her notes from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Yeah.
And the freeze frame is on
homework and
go ahead.
Advantage of my kindness.
Spinner's gonna be looking at my mosquito bite boobs from now on.
Damn. Degrassi's always, at least in my heart, it's famous for these stills, these at the end, and this one is just Terry's face, kind of pouty lip, and it's it. That's it. The episode is over. And again, apologies for you having to watch episode 3.
Yeah, no good. Very bad.
But I'm glad you got to see episode 4. I feel like it's turning a corner to some degree, and I'm starting to enjoy the chaos. I like junior high chaos. I want more, and I'm ready for it.
We're turning it. We definitely, after episode 3, it starts to get its momentum, I feel.
Only 14 more seasons to go, Brendan. We think we'll be done in 2025. And we thank you for being part of this episode. Anything you'd like to add, Hannah?
Yes, actually, because I was watching this weekend. I just finished playing Resident Evil 2. So I watched Resident Evil 2, and guess who was in there?
Terry.
Shane from junior high. What? Yeah.
Amazing.
There was a security guard at the end, and there he was.
Oh, it makes me happy. Anytime Degrassi cast, present, past, future perhaps, I'm rooting for them always. Rick, would you like to add anything to this episode?
No, not really. I mean, the first 3 episodes I was not on board. Now I'm getting more on board.
Yes.
With Next Gen.
Yeah.
Yes. Brendan, do you think this would be something you will watch again, or at least entertain other episodes? Has this piqued your curiosity at all?
That's a really interesting question, Mike. I would say no. But you know, I've had a really great time, and if you guys ever wanted to have me back on this thing, I would in a heartbeat watch another episode. But you know, I understand
Yes.
there's a lot of cool people to get to out there. So
Well, Brendan, thank you so much. Brendan, anything you'd like to add?
yeah, my band, the Lawrence Arms, has a new record coming out in July 17th. The record is called Skeleton Coast. It'll be on Epitaph, and we're pretty excited about it. And right now, you can pre-order it and check out the first single and video for PTA. Yeah, we're pretty stoked about it.
And we
Fuck
wanted to
yeah.
thank our sponsors for this episode, Epitaph Records. There's a 40% discount code. If you put Larry40, you get 40% off on the Epitaph website. This is totally false. Please don't do that. I should have. But thank you, Brendan. I'm really excited for the new record, and just thank you for being a good friend and for being there for me for so many years.
Oh man, back at you, and I mean it sincerely, Mike. You're the best.
Thanks, brother. All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.